up, everyone? Welcome back to Land of the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with another episode of the 40 build series and the filthiest, most foul-mouthed droid in the galaxy, R2-D2. Now, today's episode is going to be pretty cool. I've taken a couple days to kind of figure out how I'm going to light this thing, because I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm going to light this thing. I'm smart. And then I actually had to do it. And, yeah, I had to figure that out. So, what I've done is basically I've replicated the two pieces that, the yellow and the orange piece here. And I basically grabbed a couple pieces of clear plastic and created my own. They're cleared. And it actually works. I kind of surprised myself. I have also created a LED set that just blows out the camera right now, and so we'll go ahead and kind of keep this off to the side by Steve over here. But we have two red LEDs, one solid, one breathing, so it's going to be for the front-facing little part, little scanner on front of R2's body. The bright one here that's basically like a flashlight, and I'm regretting using this 5mm LED. I was like, what am I ever going to use these for? And it was this, apparently, and this thing is like literally like a flashlight. It's kind of insane. We're going to be using this for the hologram projector, and then we have a blinking, or a flickering yellow LED, and a solid yellow LED, and we're going to be putting that in the rear. So, let's go ahead and get started and see if all of this is actually going to work. So I've kind of like test fit things. Also as well, in between episodes, what I've done is I've used the school glue, the white school glue, and I basically created like a glaze with it, just kind of mixed in some water, and then what you do is you basically go through and touch each one of the tabs, get into the middle of the tabs, like really soak the surface of it. It dries clear, and it's like the only benefit that the school glue actually has. However, I chose this time just to put it on straight. I just put it on a little paint tray and used a brush, and I brushed the Elmer school glue. Man, that is a tough one to say. I'm just not going to say it anymore. I went ahead and brushed the school glue onto each one of the tabs and the connection points. And then along the bottom and on the bases here, I went ahead and just applied some glue in between to just strengthen them up. There is zero movement now. R2 is very stable up here up on top. So use your school glue. It's probably the only thing that this is good for these days for us, but this I did pick up the extra strong formula, and I've used probably about maybe that much in a couple of model builds, so you don't use much, and then you're going to use it to very carefully go around some points. You want to try to let the model itself, like, only use glue where you feel like you need to, but I do use glue to make sure that it's stable and connected on the inner parts. So I just went ahead and brushed it up. So let's go ahead and get these crappy pieces away. And the orange one's going to go up front, and we're going to be putting the red LEDs back behind it. So I literally fashioned it to work just the same way as the stock part. So this is also going to be covered with, I believe, this piece here. So, you know, you're not going to be seeing much, but it's one of those things where, you know, you just want to make sure that you're getting the LEDs through so they can be seen. And then let's go ahead and get the yellow one here in the back. Perfect. That one's set into place. Now, for R2's projector light, that is going to be installed in a later portion of this build, probably next episode. And we will be basically getting that installed. I just want to take care of the flickering red and the breathing red and solid red, and then the flickering yellows. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to go ahead and, for the sake of not blowing out the camera, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my power source here. And I left my leads long enough so that I can Eventually, I have this set up for 9 volts. So I'm going to basically be connecting this to a 9-volt battery. I don't want to have like a permanent, don't need to, I don't want to have a permanent connection. I don't want to be hooking up Arduino to this as well. So let's go ahead and start with our yellows. Why not? And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just put the one of the LEDs on each side of this post right here back behind. So I'm likely actually going to pull this piece off here real quick. And then what I have found is that if you set it at kind of like an angle, just like that basically, hopefully you're able to see that. I'm kind of get it in a couple different angles there just in case. But you just kind of want to set it at an angle so it's not pointing directly at it. I try to do some light diffusion. It's really not going to work. I don't know how this is going to turn out, you guys, but it's definitely something that I'm doing. So let's go ahead, and I also know that I'll be wiring harnesses differently in the future. So let's start with this side right here, and we'll put the solid over here. And very simply, and I say very simply, I'm not sure how I'm going to pull this off, but I'm basically just going to take some super glue. It needs to be clipped off, so we can do this while holding that. There we go. Ah, yes. And I'm just going to super glue that into place. Right there. I'm going to hold this, and I will be right back. Okay, well, the super glue wasn't cooperating, so I went ahead and just busted out some UV resin. Why not? I've got it. I like it. So now let's go ahead and grab... Oh, I hope this is the yellow one. And if it's the red one, so be it. Let's go ahead and grab this one. I think it's the correct one here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my UV resin. Just put it right up next to the bulb. And on the paper. And then I'm going to flash for about 30 seconds. Alright, let's see how that did. Solid. Very nice. Alright, let's put it into place. And I'm going to do the drum roll here after we get both of these hooked in before I test the lights. Sucker for punishment, what can I say? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly pull this forward so we get a little bit of the light from both sides coming through. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and do the same thing with the red ones on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and pull this piece off. Now, realizing that I got my cut lines extraordinarily wrong on this one, which is a shame. Oh, well, that took a little bit of the paint with it. How interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not too worried about it. But it did just get everywhere. Wow. Oh, interesting. We still fit? Oh, yeah. We still fit. Alright. Sorry. Internal dialogue, so to say. Alright, now let's go ahead and grab one of our red LEDs. Now, to be clear, I have tested this out. I'm not going in this totally blind. Does look good. Right. So the thing, though, however, that sucks is like doing this. Yeah, I have these things called tweezers, Jordan. Not that one. There we go. The little wiring harness that I created is not exactly the most flexible, and that's what I was actually trying to do, is be flexible. So, you know, hey. This is me. I'm learning. I'm doing things. Okay. Right, got some of the UV resin down. I'm going to flash this for 30 seconds, and I will be right back. Alright. Let's go ahead and flip this thing over. Do the same thing on the other side with the remaining red LED. I'm simply just going to set this one right there. So, just kind of right there. Add a slight upward angle. Get my UV resin down. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm going to flash this for 30 seconds, and I will be right back. Alright. Yeah, that UV resin is immediate and glorious. Alright, let's go ahead and get this put into place. Get it straightened up. I know, like I said, it's going to be adjusted, but I want it to look good. Now, here, my friends, comes the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and get all of our stuff put away in the anticipation that I did this correctly. And then we can just go ahead and move on to... We're going to finish up step 3, and then we're going to get through, I think, step... 4, I think is what we're going to get through. So we're going to finish up steps 3 and 4 after we get this all lit up. So, let's go ahead and get some of our stuff moved out of the way. One thing while building models I find is that stuff just quickly accumulates on your workbench in a hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. This orange stuff is going to drive me insane. Alright, so now let's go ahead and fire it up. What do you think, Steve? You think we got this? I think we got this. Negative hooked up. And moment of truth. We're going to pull this forward a little bit so we catch both sides. I had this brief moment of like, oh my god, why is nothing working? And it's because I turned off the power supply. So, here's R2's forward. Yeah, that works exactly how I want it to. Very cool. And then his rear just kind of flickers with the yellow. Very cool. And then his, I believe his little thing will come out right here. So, yeah, awesome. That turned out really good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this powered down. Disconnected, and we will go ahead and move on. Oh, super sweet. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and move on to finishing up steps 3 and 4. So, yeah, the plastic I got from, I think it was some excess plastic from the inside of one of my little storage containers that I hold little model bits in and what have you. I just grabbed one of the dividers, traced it out, traced these out, and then just made some cuts. So, pretty easy. I like that. And then I have a long enough lead. I wasn't sure how long of a lead I was going to need, but I knew that after this point, he was going to be at least, you know, this tall. So, any point after here, I'll be able to hook my 9-volt battery connector up too, and we will take care of that later on in the build. So, what we're going to do is assemble stage 3, or step 3, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to start here. And each one of these has a different color and a different symbol on there. And it's going to match up on here with the colors and the symbols. It's pretty clever. I like the way that works out. So, let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with number 10, just because I like to go in order. So B10 is a circle. We are going to find the circle, And then very simply push down. And the whole reason that you want to strengthen your tabs is so that when you're pushing your piece in, you can be a little bit forceful with it without worrying about bending the tab. And then very simply, we're going to take R2's piece and just bend it over the armature, or the skeleton, I guess. And then, very simply, and once again, this is why we put the glue on the tabs, just click it right into place. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our square. Should be this one here. Once again, find the proper position. Be gentle, but push firmly down. And then simply just roll it along his skeleton structure here. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. And click it into place. Then as you go along, just kind of gently massage it, push it into place. Just like so. Now, I haven't thought about light bleed. I don't know if I have to. We'll see. We'll see. I should have thought about light bleed. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to be putting our first piece over one of our LED sets. So we're going to take note of that as we go along. There we are. Very nice. Very cool. And then our triangle has the circle piece that it's going to fit directly over the middle of this. Tab that into place. Very gently push this over the top. There we are. Now what I didn't test was this specifically because I didn't once you start doing this, you don't want to just stop. So we will see. We'll see how this turns out. I'm not feeling a little something about this, Alright, so B14 is going to be the circle. There we are. Alright, so we're coming up here on this part where we have the recess portion that we built in the previous episode. I'm starting to be a little bit, needing to be a little bit more careful here with how I'm pushing down the model. So, while lifting him up, I'm going to push down onto the peg, or the post, and then this is going to get bent down. There's a crease inside of the, if you see here, there is a crease like that, and then you should be able to fold right into that piece. So, for that, I'm going to take my pair of pliers. Ha! And this is because of the glue. 100% because of the glue. I went ahead and glued some tabs here too. It was during this the Venator series that I really learned that I needed to plan my builds. So I've done that here as well. One thing you notice too as you go along is this process strengthens the model quite a bit. Obviously adding a skin, adding more pieces to the outside makes a big difference. Okay, we have another piece here that's folding over an inner piece once again. A couple of them actually. So this one you just want to make sure to push down and be a little bit more firm around your connection points. And just here we have obviously some inset pieces there. And just like so. There we are. Now we're going to be coming up on the other piece that is going to, This white LED just keeps wanting to push its way out there. Now, this one is the other piece that's going to be sitting right over the top here. Once again, let's go ahead and get that pushed into place. Alright. The little eye is all covered up here. Very cool. Or whatever this is. I think his eye goes right here, actually. And I actually have that ready for this episode, and we'll go ahead and install that here in just a second after we get his other skin pieces. I just didn't feel it was right to leave R2 without his eye. Like, he's always got to keep an eye on things, you know? Haha. I'd see myself out, but this is my channel, so... And I'm just gonna go, you know, over there. Or just sit right here and just watch TV or something. My workbench is also a place where I'll kind of kick it and relax. Do work, actually, like for my job. And for my Airbnb. And for other things. Alright. There. Oh, that one went on real nice. Ah, yeah. Sometimes they just fit right into place and it's super good. Okay. Last of the dome pieces to put on. Alright. Very cool. Alright. So now... before we get too much further, I am going to go through, light this up real quick, and see how bad the light bleed is, and if there's anything I need to do about it. Okay. First, I have R2's eye here. Let's go ahead and get him put into place. R2's got to be able to at least see what's going on while we're putting them together. I guess it's kind of morbid, actually, when you think about it. He's only got part of a body, but I'm making him, like, hang out anyway. That's really morbid, Jordan. Alright. So, there, my friends. It's the top portion of R2-D2. Steps 3 and 4. Completed. And custom lit. Very cool. So let's go ahead and fire up the power source so I don't have the weird thing where I'm like, oh my god, I broke it. I bet you there's gonna be light bleed. I bet you there's gonna be hella light bleed. And if there is, I will take care of that in between episodes. Next episode, we are going to be definitely coming in and doing a ton of work. We're going to cover half of what's left. Alright. Oh. Well, it's pulsing back behind here. So what I might do... I see. Okay. This one's alright, though, actually. Got the flickering light back behind. So what I'm going to do for this one is I am going to remove, and we'll come back in the next episode, but I gotta say that turned out really good just for having his light up front. That's really not that bad. And that's really not that bad. The light bleed is... wow. That is something, my friends. I think I'm going to go through, glue my pieces together from the inside. And I'm going to probably, I don't know, maybe... I don't know. I'm going to think about this one. I just don't know. Like, do I really care about light blocking? I mean, there's some of it that I need to do for sure. Right there, and... I think maybe as we get all these pieces attached. But, man, I gotta say, R2 looks pretty good, just even with the single light, and it's not even breathing up front. That looks really, really good. And custom lighting for a 4D model build, I might be onto something, you guys. This has been a lot of fun to think about, and I got another one ready to go here soon. So, ooh, this has been pretty cool. I set out to light this bad boy and get our part works and models, I don't even know, steps 3 and 4 are completed, along with R2's eye, along with some custom lighting. And so, yeah, I feel like it was a pretty good one. Oh, my friends, this has been a cool build, and one that I look forward to keep continuing to build as we go along. We got a couple more episodes left before we move on to the next 3D build. These are a lot of fun. So, that's what I got for you today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me, watching me build a model, which I think is pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember that the Force will be with you always.